guys, this is Gabriella DeLuca here with News 3. We are off of South Independence right now, where a lot of this road is closed. We're gonna put the camera around here, and you can see, you can make it out down there. There are road closed signs on this stretch of South Independence. So there hasn't been cars coming down this area. You can see where a lot of the floodwater was. You can see all this debris all over the road here, and if you come look into the turning lane and just follow it, you can see that there is still a lot of flooding on the road here. And if you take it into the neighborhood here, this is by Rainbow Drive in one of these little neighborhoods off of South Independence. You can see there is still a lot of water on the road. I'm going to take a step in here just to kind of show you guys how deep it is. It's covering my feet and my boots here. So this whole area still flooded out. I'm going to turn slowly the camera across. You can see there's a car that looks to have been stuck there at the intersection. Oh, here's another car. There's a car that looks to be stuck there from probably early this morning or last night. And here's a public works truck that's making its way through. A lot of people, when they come up to this water, they are turning around, not taking the risk because of these high waters. How are residents coping? We talked to a couple people today who say this is the worst they've seen it in this area. So, you know, this area, of course, all of Hampton Roads has seen major flooding over the years, but for people to say that this is the worst they've ever seen it, you can imagine just how bad the flooding is here. So, and just to give you a little bit, you know, of some perspective, this morning, this floodwater, my colleague Rachel Carden was out here covering it, and she said it was even worse. The flooding was much more than this, so this is much better than what it was, and it's still very high. Which area? This is this Rainbow Road right off of South Independence Boulevard. So there's a lot of flooding out here, a lot of water still. Couple cars that we've seen. We're going to make it over this way, and you can see where a couple cars looked to have pulled off on the side of the road, didn't want to risk it anymore. It looks like this car in front of me, you can see some of its tires are still submerged. Let me see. Did a mosquito bite you? No, I was just itching my face before this, before the live stream here. So you can see on that end of the road, you can see the water has receded, but down here at this intersection, there is a lot of water still. You can't even tell the difference between what is the sidewalk and what is the road. This is the sidewalk right here where I am, and then if you were to step in, you can see it's almost halfway up my boot there. So there is a lot of water out here. You can see some cars over there just now making it out of the water after that flood water had receded. But you know, for people in this area, they told us earlier that this is one of the worst they have ever seen it here. This is not the only section of Virginia Beach that got flooded. We went to the Asheville Park neighborhood today, and that also was very bad. We'll have some video of that in our stories today. You can see this car here just going for it. So they made it no problem. I don't know if I would be so bold to try that, going through it. This guy doesn't seem to have any problems either. You say, let's go kayaking. There were a lot of people who were kayaking and boogie boarding in the Asheville Park area today. There were a lot of people who were just flooded out. We talked to a guy who walked. He couldn't take his car through the water, so he walked to the entrance of the neighborhood, and someone picked him up, and he just needed groceries for his family. They've been stuck inside their house for a day or two. You can hear from him tonight at 4, 5, and 6. Norfolk was worse. Yeah, that's what we're hearing, that Norfolk was also bad as well. So, but again, if you guys remember, this was much worse at the beginning of the day. This is much better than it was now. So my colleague Rachel Carden was out here this morning, and a lot of the video that we saw, it was very, very high, and cars were, you know, submerged. A lot of cars were, you know, abandoned here on South Independence Boulevard because of the floodwater, they couldn't make it out. So I'm going to just show you, I'm going to go back to this way for the people who are just joining now who didn't get to see South Independence blocked off. Schools closed tomorrow. I would be surprised if schools were closed tomorrow, but then again, they were closed today and yesterday, so you never know. But if you can see my feet below here, just what it's like walking through this water. And this is on the sidewalk, so it's a little bit higher ground than what the road is. And like I said, it's kind of hard to tell the difference between what's the sidewalk and what's the road here. But once you make it out from the Rainbow Road section, you get to South Independence, where there's that car that you can see was stalled out earlier, either this morning or last night. There's a little bit of water over there as well. So that car has been out there since we've got here. But this is South Independence now. You can see where the water kind of ends. This is the turning lane turning on into this neighborhood. If you look down there, I don't know if you guys can make it out, but there are road closed signs that are blocking this stretch of South Independence. So, you know, this is a very high traveled road. So, you know, a lot of people are having to take detours to go around this, this area. So again, this has probably been a traffic problem for people who are traveling in this area. And not to mention the people who are stuck in their neighborhoods, stuck in their homes because they can't get their cars out here. But here's some cars you can see here. That side of the South Independence, the flooding looks to have gone down a lot. There's only a little bit at the intersection, but how about Pungo? We were in the Asheville Park neighborhood today, which I believe, correct me if I'm wrong, is kind of on the border of the Pungo area. I believe that in that area was very, very bad today. I did not, a lot of people in that neighborhood say they've never seen it as bad as it was today. And here's some cars that were just going through the puddles or the flooding as well. So does anyone have any questions about flooding in Virginia Beach? I'll do my best to answer about any specific areas. We were looking for, there's some cars making their way through. We were looking for flooding. We figured, you know, a lot of the hot spots offshore drive, Lynn Haven Colony, Bay Colony, we figured there would be some flooding over there, but there wasn't. I talked to someone with the city today. They say that section of the city only got about 9 inches of rain, which to everyone else may sound like a lot, but compared to the rest of Virginia Beach and Hampton Roads, that was actually not a lot. There was not any flooding there. We figured there would be. That's an area that always gets flooded. But here we are off South Independence. Are you going anywhere else live? No, we will be here live throughout the evening. So this is where we're staying. You can see there's just a lot of water. I'm going to take a step out into the road. I have high boots on, so this is not a problem. But yeah, so if you are in the road, it's about halfway up your boot. And there's a lot of water out here. Well, I'm going to walk us over to our where we're going live. So this is the intersection of Rainbow and Arcturus. I believe I'm saying that correct. Arcturus Lane. A lot of water. It looks like it gets deeper as the more inside the intersection you get. But like I said earlier, this has receded a lot. You can see the light at the end of the tunnel on Rainbow Drive here. You can see the pavement coming through. And if you swing around this way, you can also see some where that water has receded. I am not sure if this is near a golf course, and I don't know how the golf course is holding up, but here's a car that's really coming fast through the see, if you have an SUV in this area, it doesn't look too bad, but if you don't, you know, it's kind of questionable. This car, oh, she doesn't have a problem. I don't know if I would risk it though. I would probably just turn around and go the long way. Okay, hearing from some people that there's still flooding in Chesapeake as well. Well, if you are experiencing flooding or see flooding, you can safely take a picture. Make sure you can send it to desk at WTKR.com. We appreciate appreciate getting your pictures just to see what you guys are dealing with out there, and so we can better tell the story of what it's like where you are. So thanks for tuning in, and we will be live 4, 5, and 6 here in Virginia Beach. All right, talk to you later. If I can figure out how to shut this off.